Hello. This is your reading. We're going to have a look, see what's coming through, what messages, information, clarity I can give to you. If this reading resonates with you, please do like, comment down below and subscribe. I feel very serene as I'm talking. I feel like there's just some calm that has washed over me, which we love, right? Which we love. Okay, so let's have a look and see now what your reading brings. I feel like, you're on the verge of sort of either staying or leaving in a certain situation. You feel rather frustrated. Things have been very rocky, emotional, and challenging in the past. Can be between you and a person here. It's been really, really overwhelming. All you want is a fresh new start with this person. You just want things to be clear. You want things to be freshened up. You don't want any more challenges, problems, but you still feel like a lot of things from the past still hinder your present. You feel like there's a lot of sort of challenge and indecision or frustration from the past that still bothers you, gets in your way, frustrates you in the present moment. This is something that I'm really picking up on here. And the Five of Wands here shows as well that the person you are dealing with may be a little bit more sort of immature. Sometimes they come across as very mature, okay? And that's the bit that really frustrates you, is because you know that this person has the ability and the capability to be mature. But they then present themselves as extremely immature. And so it's hard for you to pinpoint what this person is, but then you think to yourself, no, but this person is definitely mature and they said the right things at that time, so they know what they're doing. Like, if only they could just do the right thing. If only they could just do the right thing. And that's exactly it, okay? With the Five of Wands, if only they could do the right thing. Page of Swords. World card with the Four of Wands. So, this person here, I feel, is going to reach out, and what you say to them is going to be the most important thing. What you say to them in return is going to be the most important thing, because this person dabbles between like their old self, which is a little bit more immature, a little bit more childlike. They want to go here, they want to do that, they want to be free, they want their own freedom, they want to live life on their own terms without any responsibility. And the new self wants to be grounded, wants to be mature, wants to settle down, wants to have stability. So they go between their old self and their new self. And it's a little bit like when someone is trying to lose weight, or they're trying to break some kind of pattern or addiction. What happens is they kind of go back into those patterns, realize it's not good for them. They try to break out of that pattern. They kind of go back a little bit, realize, no, it's not for me. And they, a bit of a yo-yo does happen until they finally hit rock bottom, realizing it's not good for me. And then they start really being a lot more disciplined and consistent, okay? Because they just realize how it doesn't make them feel good. So it's a bit like that with this person, right? They're a little bit immature sometimes, a little bit childlike, but they want to be more settled. They want to have stability. They want to have peace. They keep yo-yoing back and forth between these two aspects, but things will improve. Things will get better. Things will, in fact, get so much stronger. And that is something that I really am picking up on here, is that things will definitely improve and things will get much, much better and much stronger. And I also believe here as well that, when this person comes forward, they'll say something very sort of like, hi, how are you, right? And how you respond to that is really, really significant. Now, this person, I do believe, can also come to you with an apology and sort of put you more at the forefront, okay? But again, how you respond to that is very important. It's all about sort of planting the seed here. And the reason I say that is because seeds grow, okay? Sometimes it's best to let a person unravel themselves. It's best to let a person do more towards you. Why? Because otherwise, if they come to you with a little bit and then you start to do too much, you are flooding, okay? You are flooding the plant. Then it takes even more time for the water to get soaked in, for the plant to then grow. But when you flood and you put too much, right? It can't grow properly. It needs just the right amount, okay? This is what I'm saying here. Do not be too emotional towards this person. Do not start sending them novels and chapters and long messages, because what will happen is you're flooding the seed. You're flooding the plant. It's too much, okay? We want the plant to grow and for it to do its thing. We want this person, right, to come forward towards you and actually do a lot more towards you. So what do you do in that sense? You give just enough. That is justice, okay? Just enough. What is just enough? Just enough means letting them communicate with you and you give them just as much as they give you. If they ask you, hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are you? And then let them respond. If they don't respond, let it be. Let let time pass until they do more. Do not then be like, oh, I thought you would respond. Like, why are you, not responding? Why are you asking me and then not responding? That is just flooding, okay? You don't want to be flooding. This goes the same with other people, friendships, co-workers, work environment things. When you have to constantly be chasing up, you are flooding. Now, I'm not talking customer service when you need something to be fixed. In that case, what I will also say as well, remember, when you are sending emails to customer service and you keep sending follow-up emails, okay, any kind of customer service, what you're doing is you're putting your query down to the bottom of the list. You're literally, that flooding is also not helping you. Send an email. If you don't hear back for a couple of weeks or whatever, send again, in that sense, not just every hour, because you're flooding. Again, you're flooding the situation. So I think what you really need to know here is that too much can be too much. Less is more. In this situation, for you right now, less is more, okay? More is creating way too much chaos. It's creating a lot of problems. Too many words, too many thoughts, too many emotions will create chaos, okay? Especially if you're talking to someone and you're telling them all the things they've done wrong. There is only so much brain capacity that person can remember. And so if you're trying to tell a person all the ways in which they treated you wrong, what they will remember is, oh my God, you're angry with me. I can't ever do anything right. What's the point? Instead, when you do things in a much more constructive and balanced manner and you tell them, I didn't really like this, but I really loved how you did this. You know what happens? It triggers them to think, oh, I can be better. Like, I can do better. Of course, this person really likes how I did this, and this is just what they have a bit of an issue with. I can work on it. But when you go down the path of just, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, a person will just feel like, I am just wrong. I'm just wrong for you, okay? So what you have to do is we create balance. If there are certain situations you want to resolve, it is about resolving them with diplomacy, with balance, and that still puts in a healthy boundary because you're still telling someone what you didn't like, but at the same time, you're also telling them what they did right. So it's giving that incentive for them to work on things. But yes, flooding is not going to help you, okay? Flooding, just in that negative sense, emotional sense, is not going to help. So I just feel like someone needs to hear this, but you've planted a seed, or you're going to be planting a seed, and it's going to help you in terms of this person actually hitting their target towards you, being a lot more proactive. Magician is communication. We see here a lot moving in the right direction. So by you doing this, you're actually moving things in the right direction. There is a lot more harmony. There is a lot more peace. There is a lot more satisfaction in the situation. They can be much more aligned to you. Okay, because there's much more of a harmony, and it's really about creating that harmony. So we have here as well the star, which is about sort of rebirth in this situation, an energy of things being reborn, and being able to sort of release also things of the past, and I'm not saying that you have to release everything from the past. Sometimes it's hard to forgive, and sometimes it's definitely hard to forget, but it's also about realizing that if you want a new chapter to unfold, you do have to be able to let go of that so that you don't let that infiltrate and overwhelm your present and your future. And that's the most important thing, is that you don't want that to infiltrate. You don't want the past sadness, frustration, grief, and trauma to infiltrate your present moments, and then for you to self-sabotage things because you're so scared of what happened in the past. So it's really about, Ace of Pentacles, working on yourself, knowing your value, planting those seeds, and giving things time, okay? Giving things time. Now, there are things you can do to speed things up. I do have lots of rituals on my website, which really help because they help with healing your energies. And when you are healing, it actually does speed things up because the key to the law of attraction is detachment. Detachment is healing, right? So when you're focused on yourself, you're focused on your goals, your hobbies, your work, the things that you can control, everything in your life will start to become stronger, better, more satisfying, more fulfilling, more exciting. You will start to feel that things in your life are starting to progress and come together really beautifully. So I do have lots of rituals on my website for love, money, marriage, career, success, beauty, justice, healing, black magic removal, protection ritual. There's readings on there as well, done within 12 to 24 hours. Actually, do you know what? They're done technically within 12 hours. I just say 24 hours just in case. But usually they're done within 12 hours. So there is that. They are actually done much sooner than what I mentioned. Anyways, so everything's there. And there's also, intention items like candles, bracelets, anklets, pom-poms, tassels, which you can hang up. There's embroidery cards, which are hand embroidered, by the way, which you can put on your own you can put under your pillow. There's also pouches which you can put under your pillow as well. These items are meditated with, sage, and very, very special. Once you're actually done with these candles, you can actually take out the crystal and also keep it, so you have something then for life technically. So that's really special. And yeah, everything is on my website if you're ever interested. So we have here as well the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is really beautiful. It's very powerful. It's very significant. Six of Wands is really just such a lovely energy, which is to do with again, a lot of victory, a lot of growth. It's to do with moving forward. It's about knowing that there is so much more growth moving forward. Even from people that have been like this, there is still growth here that will take place. All is not lost. You've planted some very strong seeds, but don't flood. Okay, so the affirmation for this reading is I will not flood. Okay, I will not flood, because that's not going to help. That's not going to help. You want to give just enough so that that seed sprouts as well. Okay, if this resonates, please do like, comment down below, subscribe. I also have TikTok and Instagram as well. Instagram is moonlight.guidance, TikTok is moonlight guidance. I post short readings on there every day. If you're ever interested, everything's linked down below, and I will see you all very, very soon, and take care. Okay, bye everyone.